Morning, everybody. Today, I would like to talk about a book I wrote, the only book I've ever written, called Crazy God Stuff. And let me just right at the beginning, you think, wait a second, this is a live stream at a church. It sounds like a potential conflict of interest. I hear that, and here's why it isn't. And I'll tell you something I told my older daughter right when I was only halfway finished writing it. I was getting pretty excited about it. Most authors like what they wrote. I am no different. I was getting pretty excited about the potential of this book actually getting finished and published. And I said, I really just want it to be like a gift to the world. And she said, well, you might, if it's good, you might make some money off it. And I said, you know what, if I were given the choice from God that I could have it read 1,000,000 times and make $1, or make $1 million but have it only read once, I wouldn't need to think about it for a tenth of a second. I'd go with the 1,000,000 readers and the $1. And of course, my older daughter said, as most American upper middle class people would, she's like, Dad, what's wrong with you? That's a harder question that I'm not addressing this morning. But every thought's a prayer, and I will say this, it's like the Amazon Corporation must have heard what I said to my daughter Maya, because soon after publishing it, I was informed by an English friend and one of my many editors. He said, Chris, by the way, your book's totally free on Kindle here. And people are just reading it for nothing and sort of setting up the website to sell books. Seems a little self-defeated here at this point. And I said, you know what? I don't think that bothers me. And the fact that I've had so many readers and so many responses to it and reviews has actually just been a benefit. And it seemed to match what I had sort of, the thought I had released to the universe in the first place. So I'm looking for people to read it, and even then, not everybody, because it's not a book for everybody. But I have learned now, and I'm the many thousands of readers, I'm guessing somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 readers now, know that it does work with a certain type. One, readers who don't need the book to have a type, that it's not a murder mystery. And it is, yes, a memoir, but not a memoir like most memoirs. It is a group of short stories, but it's definitely not a collection of short stories either, because they're all true. And is it a comedy? Is it a tragedy? Yes to all that. Yes to all the above. So someone who has an exact need for a book to fit a type, this book is a little bit of a frustration. For those who know the types, and a lot of people have read a lot, really saw it as a breath of fresh air, as just a different type. And in terms of who the book, I think, feeds the most, it clearly speaks to people who have buried children. This is a unique category of people, and it's not a group of people to whom I belong, but several of the stories in it address a close friend of mine burying his 5-year-old. And I think we found a lot of healing and truth there without sugarcoating the pain or sweeping any of it under the rug. There are a number of stories where our most broken moments are transformed by God. So we can take the saddest, most teary-eyed parts of our lives, the most broken parts of our life, and come to expect God's redemption, resurrection, God's serendipity, God's good grace in all sorts of very different ways. People who either have experienced that or hope for it are often fed by the book. So again, this is, you're thinking, yeah, he's really making the whole morning live stream about an ad. What, for this? Crazy God Stuff? Available on Amazon.com? Yes, and if I make a penny on it, it's going to the church I work for joyfully. But really, I hope you like the book, and if you don't want to order it here, go straight to the Kindle and get it for free. That's quicker and easier, so think about doing that too. And let me know what you think, because a second book is in the works, and we like to learn from all we've done before we go ahead and do more. So, thanks for maybe reading and getting Crazy God Stuff, and I hope it's a blessing for you in every way.